This is his 5th year with the Cowboys. He knows this offense, and it shows when you watch him play.
Here's Lamb. Makes the catch, turns upfield. First down at the 40.
The cupboard's a bit bare through the first 2 games. It's gotten a little worse for this one.
Here's Tony Pollard getting it. Another first down and 2 nice plays to start the night for Dallas. 3rd down and 18. Rush underneath. Passes caught. A mile to go and not much for Peyton Hendershot.
Whoever lines up over there to Evan Neal, he's going to need some help.
2nd down and 14 now. Jones set up a screen for Barkley. Good blocking out in front, and Saquon is 1.5 yards short of first down yardage.
But a really nice call there offensively by Mike Kafka, the offensive coordinator.
3rd down and 1. Pass over the middle, wide open is Shepard. Another first down for the Giants. Shepard gets his first of the night.
In the early part of this season, they've got their ears pinned back, but they're neutralizing it.
Pass is caught by Bellinger again. Back-to-back plays. What a nice drive to start the night as Daniel Jones has started 5 for 5. 3rd down and 10. Extra men on the rush. Jones throws it away. Was under pressure and just had to unload it. It's 4th down as Leighton Vander Esch. They're 4 for 4 against Carolina. From 47, and this one is blocked by Dorrance Armstrong. 6-yard gain, 5 yards added on. First down, Dallas, play action. Rush floats it. Oh, nice grab by Noah Brown.
Haven't seen as much of that here lately.
Quick throw, pass is caught. Brown again. Ball back at the 8, 3rd down and goal. Good protection, pass is tipped. And getting a hand on it, Jihad Ward, but a flag is down. And drill it.
Probably should be a little bit more balanced against this defensive front. DeMarcus Lawrence right in the middle.
No flag is thrown. Some movement before the snap, and the pass is caught out on the edge by David Sills. Another guy who has worked hard for this opportunity. 2nd and 10. Parsons was coming on a blitz. Jones gets out. Able to stay upright and get a first down. Barkley, his best of the night. Able to get 9.
You know, there's been a lot of times when you watch him, and this isn't just this year. Let's be honest.
13th play of this drive. Jones under pressure. Ball is tipped and incomplete. Tipped by Donovan Wilson.
However, he has played guard. He played some guard in 2019 and 2020 with the Eagles.
Here is Pollard on that side, trying to hit a home run. Tony Pollard is down inside the 20. And Peters was right there to throw the block that helped spring him. 3rd down and 3. Rush, end zone. Receiver falls down. That's Brown. He's looking for a flag and won't get it. It's 4th down.
Yeah, boy.
So Holmes gets away with one, it looks like, and that forces the 28-yard try.
That's the way Buddy Ryan used to coach it up as well.
Here is a toss to Elliott on 3rd down and 12. Gets a block, gets a first down. How about a toss on 3rd down and 12 and a big-time run as the rookie Tyler Smith was out there and delivered a block. 2nd down and 10. Elliott tries the left side. Looks like they've found something here running left since Peters came into the game. And 3rd down, quick throw. Pass was tipped and another drop, albeit on that tip pass by C.D. Lamb as the rookie Thibodeau got his hand on it. 2nd down and 9. After that carry by Jones, got 1 yard, and here he is right up the gut. And let's see where they put him down. Another first down for the Giants. He's been able to do it with his legs.
It's a pretty important drive to end this half.
Jones 4 carries, 24 yards, just 2 yards behind Barkley. Nice throw, nice catch. Richie James for 14. Pressure from the edge and a sack. Lawrence got him again. Here's one for Barkley. Long way to go. Some blocking out in front. Barkley doing what he can.
Oh, he got close.
For the Cowboys. Quick setup and throw. Pass is caught. And a timeout by Dallas, and they've got a chance. Simi Fehoko is the one who made the grab. Good snap and hold. The kick is no good.
I know that Micah Parsons attracts a lot of the headlines, as he should, but DeMarcus Lawrence and the rest of them pretty good.
Here's pressure, and down he goes again. DeMarcus Lawrence has got another third of the night.
Ready, set.
Fake it to him. Jones steps up, takes off, gets away from Micah Parsons, and has another first down carry.
Ready, set.
Jones, there he goes. Another first down, plenty for Daniel Jones. Inside the 40. Pressure off the edge and a sack. Donovan Wilson. Jones to his left, fires and nearly picks. Shepard makes the catch. Trayvon Diggs, that's the boom or bust with him. He went for the pick and missed.
I don't know how he missed. He had his hands all over it.
Pass here to Shepard, tackle made, and that tackle by Anthony Brown.
The former wide receiver, he has great hands. I mean, that was a great throw to him.
Here is Gano, and able to steer it through from 51 and tie this game at 6.
Ready, set.
Cowboys with 5 sacks tonight. He keeps, he turns, and he takes off. Van Der Esch can't get to him. First down and a hit out of bounds. And a flag.
Ready, set.
Barkley. Nice cut. There he goes. Saquon to the end zone. Touchdown Giants.
Due to all the injuries that he's incurred.
From the 25, Rush now down by 7. Backpedals and hits CeeDee Lamb. Lamb able to hang on as he's wrestled down. A catch for 17 yards. Hendershot, undrafted from Indiana. Got him to the 18. Throw out on the edge. That's Noah Brown spinning his way inside the 10, and it's first and goal. Ferguson, the tight end, in the backfield in front of Elliott. Elliott gets it and is able to finish for the touchdown. Good answer by the Cowboys. Their first touchdown of the night. First down Dallas. Pollard in the backfield. He gets it and breaks through. Gets 10.
At running back, like you'd like in a game, especially like tonight.
Rush unloads, passes caught. And into Giants territory as CeeDee Lamb makes the grab for 17. Rush passes high and incomplete. Lamb the target. Got hit by Jackson. Fourth down. On fourth down, Rush throws, pass caught. Where will they put it? Lamb made the catch, and with progress has a first down as he was belted. Cowboys hurry it up. Pass, a spinning grab by Hendershot. And then up and over Dane Belton and picking up 10. Cowboys scored a touchdown last time they had it. Here's Lamb, one-on-one. Lowers his shoulder and takes it to the goal line just short. Play clock near 1. Corner of the end zone. Lamb. One-handed try. He got it. Touchdown, Lamb. What a catch. What a throw. And the Cowboys back on top.
He's not paying them to play. They're being paid to catch. And that's one you got to catch. And if he catches it, he's got a chance to make one man miss, which he probably does, and he picks up the first down.
Here's Turpin on the return. Got a block. And is knocked down just inside the 35. Gillen, the punter, made the stop. Taking the Cowboys into the end zone. He keeps. Backpedals as he throws. And Maher got it. And this second tour of duty with the Cowboys for Brett Maher.
And they haven't been able to really get a lot going. It's better. They're building now.
Jones flips and somehow got it to James. What a throw. What a catch. First down, Giants.
You're not kidding.
When the Cowboys went for it on a 4th and 4. 2nd and 4. Jones out to his right. Tucks, goes, and out of bounds right at the stick. Jones now has to move to his left. Flag on the play, and down is Jones as Wilson brings him down. And this looks like a hold against the Giants. This to make it a 7-point game. Gano continues his terrific work. He's led 3 consecutive scoring drives. Giants down to 1 timeout. And this hurts. Pollard right up the gut gets 10 and a first down. Thanks, 3rd down and 7. 2 minutes left. Giants out of timeouts. Cowboys leading by 7, and they fake the handoff. Roll rush. Pass is caught by Ferguson, and he didn't get it. Daniel Jones has been hit a lot. And the Cowboys have him in their sights again, able to get away. Pass is caught by Shepard. Little stutter step move by Parsons. Jones fires, and the pass is intercepted by Diggs. He goes down, and the Cowboys think they've wrapped it up. And the Cowboys will leave New Jersey 2-1.
You know, everybody always says how hard it is to win. Cooper Rush is walking around saying, I don't get it. I don't know what's so hard about it.
Well, he knows the system. He's definitive.